freezing cold in Florida this morning, touching 35. Ray's freezing over there. He's got a fire going. Me and Ray was racing. He's building the engine in this unit over here. Well, he's built the engine. And I told him I was going to beat him, but not only has he built the engine, he's got the engine in there. She is fancy too. And I told him I was going to beat him. Didn't happen. We're looking good though. We got the invisible cab up there. Welcome back. Got Charlie giving us some assistance today, doing some assembling here. If I can climb up in here, trying to get our valves in place so we can hook up the valve as well. We're just going to get her in place, kind of jive off of it. I know. Trying to keep it old school.
With the ratchet wrench, Thomas?
Yeah. Close enough. Ah. Here's my valve, which will connect to my tilt and lift controls. Now somehow I got to make a mount. I'm just gonna let this hang on my levers for right now. Get her where I want her. And weld some bracketry from wall to that or something. We'll figure that out here shortly. 6011 is the flavor today. The flavor to savor. Similar to a 6010, only cheaper. And that's just how we like it. Now we got our flat bar welded in there. Looks kind of haggard, but that's all right because it's a hidden. Come on. Decided I had a little gusset in there. Just got a little piece. Just going to give me a lot of strength, rigidity, whatever. On this side, I know I'd mentioned, you know, putting some sort of sleeve or a little bung or something in there. I decided there's 2 bolts on each side, so these right here is going to work as a mount. So if I ever need to take this off, take these 2 bolts right here, 2 bolts right here, and it'll drop out the bottom. That being said, it doesn't really matter. This can be fixed as well up to this. So what I got here, got another piece of flat bar. I'm gonna weld that thing in there. And then I got a little gusset, little baby gusset here. I'll add right there on the side. She's definitely not the prettiest looking thing you've probably ever seen, but none of this flex. It's all staying extremely sturdy. Column is in place. Got my tilt just kind of holding it up for right now. Shimmied up some professional lift jack here, made out of a sandblaster 2x4 and a piece of metal, but it's working. It's working good enough we can get our chair in there and get a height on it and go ahead and cut the hole on our plate, floor plate, for the steering to go through. And obviously, yeah, do what we can with the rubber so it seals off good. This chair we're going to use, it came out of an old Peterbilt. It leaks air, so we will not have the air ride on it, but it's nice and cozy. You know, high cotton, original dust. Could help you, Charlie, but muscle man. It's probably about 6 inches right there, ain't it? Razor on up. We're gonna make this simple. Weld a piece of 4-inch chain on each side, facing down. We'll box it off, weld it right directly to that. We'll weld that directly to the floor plate, which we bolted in. So if we ever gotta get underneath, we just make it levitate on out and pull it on out the cab and set her on down. Something like that right there. Something like that right there. I'm just gonna weld these up and get her in place and tack everything down. Just imagine, you know, you got a bucket in front of you or something. Use your imagination. Feels pretty good, you know. Levers right here, resting on my armrests. I believe you can actually move the seat back. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That'll do, dart'll do. That's nice. Really, the channel being outside like that kind of gives it a nice clean flush look, and we'll still bed line all this, match the rest. See right there my little tacks. Got a good enough gap I can take a cut off wheel and just whack those off if I ever need to remove this. And then look at this thing, which I'm only gonna have 2 pedals. So I have my gas there, then I'll have my D clutch that'll work as a brake as well right there. Got another plate cut, but we're gonna have to, this is all gotta go on there. Gotta have a hole on each side. Well, I won't need this hole. I'll just need this hole, that hole, and this assembly. Got our floorboard here for where our steering column's gonna go through. Gas pedal, D clutch, and brake pedal. More or less I've got these little valves will be for the D clutch, and then obviously the steering valve. Somehow shimmy on through there. Got everything marked, similar placement as the last one, kind of sat in there too and got a good placement. And I just want to go and cut these out. Anytime you're setting a torch, you want it to sound like you're ripping a piece of paper almost when you press the button. Okay? Usually do like my oxygen at 40 to 50 pounds, it's settling around 13, 14. There's a little bit of buzz off the end of you pressing the button. Enjoy yourself. Y'all say bye to Charlie. Gotta go do some babysitting. Bye, Charlie. It's gonna be alright. Was able to salvage some hardware, that piece, this piece off the old floor plate, along with this hunk of stuff. See the old one, man, it was just, see why we're having to redo it more or less. I mean, this is paper thin rust. Anyways, able to cut that off, salvage it. We're gonna, hopefully, if my measurements are right, I've got everything marked. Should be able to just, you know, plate it on there, square it up, put that piece on there, hook it all together, and be good to go. And then we're gonna hold off once we get done with this. I'm waiting on a few parts for my steering column. It's like a U shape, and more or less just goes around this rod on each side to make it where this deal can pivot. And I got a tilt situation on it, so that just makes it where it can pivot. So I'll have everything ready for it. In the meantime, we're gonna move to our top of our cab and get that fixed. We're waiting on a few parts and then button this thing up and paint it on up. But for right now, we'll get this in place, weld it all up. Let's just hope that my measurements were correct. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to cut all that back off. believe that's good. I like it. Shall weld this out. Get stand still. Alright. So other than our mounts for our column, pedals are all good to go. We got some mail. One of the two mounts that we're going to need for the bottom of our column. Already put the little bearing bushing thingamabob in there. This more or less just slide right into the end of that. Me only having one, I can still mount it up because I will remove this, get the plate in, mount one up, drill the holes, just swap the other side, drill the holes, and that way when the other one comes in, we can quickly attach it up and that'll be good to go. Oh, about broke a fingernail off there. Just working me a little bit here. Got our column back in place. I slid this side on, went through a couple marks. Gonna slide that back off, drill these two holes, and then we'll put this onto this side, go and drill it, and we'll just go and tighten it on up on this side. And like I said, as soon as our other one of those comes in, we'll just walk over to it, slap her on, throw our two bolts through, and it'll be good to go. And everything underneath is looking well. My pedal assembly looks good on that side, brake looks good. I'm gonna show you the view of it too. So we got everything in place here. I got one mount holding it on one side. Kind of a pain in the butt. I'll get the other side whenever it gets here. Well, it's in place, but I'm thinking, and despite the mess of junk in here, you know, cat house garage, whatever, interior looks pretty fair. Then you get to here, you know, and it's kind of iffy. You get back past that, it's kind of fair, looks pretty good, looking pretty good. You know, that's a little grungy looking good. What I'm trying to get to is it looks like crap, looks like garbage. And why would this, you're thinking, why would this guy go through all this and just leave this hunk of crap here? So we're gonna jig something up. First problem is this is flimsy, which makes my tilt a little bit of a headache. So I'm gonna kick two birds with one foot. We're gonna build a cover, go over this column, more or less just a column cover. Gonna make it out of sheet metal, make a metal bracket, nut rivets on the bottom, somehow tie it up to this piece to take the flex out of it. And overall it'll cover it all and still be able to have the movement to tilt it forward and back. Just got back from my lunch break. Instead of eating, I threw these together real quick. Just gonna weld the nuts on the bottom side of this. I've got a nut rivet directly inside this piece of 3/4 tubing with the 5/16 holding it down. This is just taking all my slack out of this piece right here, so whenever I hit the tilt, the steering wheel will go down. So went ahead, steering column is done, which means the interior is done as of right now. What I did, y'all seen the framework, we went in and sheet metaled that all up, put us some nice little, you know, rubberized edging to it, keep away from sharp corners. The good thing about this, centerpiece is individual from these pieces. So if I go to tilt it, it's nice and easy. Not hitting the sides and keeps it nice and well hidden. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, and keep on keeping on. Come on back. I got plenty more where this came from. Peace.